Hey, we really enjoyed reading all your guys' comments from YouTube, Instagram, and your emails. Um, we're really excited to answer your questions. So, we had a whole lot of questions. We got a whole lot of questions sent in, and a lot of them were the same types of questions. So, what we've done is we've narrowed it down so we're able to answer as many questions as possible. Okay, so are you guys ready to start the questions? So the first question is for this guy right here. And we have 3 questions from the same person. The first one is, how did you become deaf? Do your parents sign? Did you go to a residential school or a public school? And did you ever go to speech therapy or not? Okay, so how did I become deaf? Well, I was born 3 months premature and I was very sick. So, what they did was the doctors recommended to my parents that I need to take this medicine because my lungs were underdeveloped. So, I took the medicine and for my lungs to be able to develop fully. My parents were kind of unsure on what to do, on if the medicine was going to help or not. So, they allowed me to do the medicine, or take the medicine, and it helped my lungs develop fully. So, they thought that maybe that the medicine caused me to become deaf, but it didn't. But growing up, I had a really good childhood. So, do your parents know sign? Yeah, my parents sign. I was involved. They were involved in the deaf community. They signed when I was around 1 year old. My parents. That's when they found out that I was deaf. So the doctor suggested, cochlear implant, hearing aid, speech therapy, language classes, but they didn't want any of that. So they were lucky enough to find one interpreter that worked at Gallaudet University and fully immersed into the deaf community. So they took an ASL class or ASL classes and, studied and everything. And they taught me how to communicate and everything. So I was really lucky about my parents being able to be involved in the community and everything. So the next question is, did you go to a residential school or a public school? Well, I went to this school. The school's name was Kendall. It was near Gallaudet University. It was from ages 1 to 5. And then I went to a different school in a different program. And it was from kindergarten to 12th grade. So, but they used SimCom there. And then in high school, I had an interpreter in classroom, but around 7 or 8 deaf students were in the public school. And we decided we wanted to go to residential school. So, have you ever gone to speech class or speech therapy? When I was younger, I went to speech classes, and they would teach you ABCs, certain mouth movements, certain ways you move your mouth. But my parents really signed, and that's how we communicated. The speech therapy didn't really help much. I had deaf friends, and I was involved with the deaf community, so I didn't see really, there was no point in practicing speech therapy still when I was able to sign. So I have a question for you now. So even though you're an interpreter, people want to know why you use your voice sometimes. Oh, okay, so they want to know why I SimComm. Well, the first reason why I use SimComm it really means that you're talking and signing at the same time. You're using two languages at the same time, but you're still using both languages at the same time, even if it's like ASL and then you're speaking English, you're still using two different languages at the same time, and it can cause a lot of errors, and most of the time the signs get dropped. It's hard to pay attention with everything, but ASL uses like facial expressions, but it's hard to do both at the same time. You can do it, but it's just not as easy. So, for example, if we're like in an audience where the people don't really understand sign language, we'll use SimComm, or I'll use SimComm. So, like for our marriage video, I didn't voice at all, but there's no reason to do SimComm. Okay, so I was okay. Oh yeah, that's right. So for our YouTube channel, SimComming for an audience, the point is to show that we can use voice off and sign.